Hi, it's Debbie Foster from Parrot P's and Q's again. I am making the second video in conjunction with Companion Parrots Rehomed, and we're trying to teach people what to do after you get the birds home, because most things you read don't really give you a clue as to what it's really like to be a bird owner. So today we're going to talk about building trust with your bird. Last week we talked about letting the bird settle in, not getting it out of its cage for a couple of days because it needed to figure out if it was in a safe environment. Moving slowly and quietly around your bird. So today we're going to build on those skills that you had last week, and we're going to talk about establishing trust. So what does trust look like? Well, one way of establishing trust is an animal moving toward you or moving away from you. As a prey animal, they're not going to move towards something that they're not sure about. And so that's a good thing, whether an animal is in or out of the cage. Is it moving toward you or away from you? Will it willingly take food from your hand? And you can see Bosley never has a problem with that. But some birds will, and some people will be very uncomfortable with the bird taking food from your hand. So I brought in a couple of props today to show you some alternative ways of giving your bird food that doesn't involve your fingers. So I don't think Bosley's ever seen this before. She is still moving towards something as opposed to away from it though. So I'm just going to put one of her favorite treats, a sunflower seed. And now she's moved away, so I froze. Then we'll let her figure out what she wants to do here. She wants to come and get this treat. And even though we've got a long history and a huge trust relationship, this spoon is something totally novel to her. So she is definitely not sure about it. She's moving away. You can see that she likely wants it. She's just not sure if she wants to come close to the spoon and get it. So I'm not taking the spoon to her at this point. I'm letting her see if she wants to come to the spoon. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it up a little bit higher so that she can reach and get it if she wants to. And we'll see if she's willing to come and get it from that perspective. Maybe a second seed in the spoon might entice her. See, she's definitely interested. She's coming in a little bit closer, deciding to take a risk here and get her goodies. So never assume when you bring something into your bird's environment that it'll be okay, because they will tell you whether it's okay or not. A measuring cup with a kind of long handle is another way of putting treats in. This, she doesn't seem to be quite as fearful of as she was the spoon, and she's perfectly willing to take a treat from that. Final way that you can give a bird a treat from your hand is in one of their food bowls, but you don't, whoops, scare everybody to death in here. You don't hold it like this, because if they want to grab your fingers, they can. You put it on an angle like that. Okay, and that way they can only see the inside of the bowl. They cannot see your fingers. And you bring it up very slowly to them, and you can see Bosley has no problem with this. Most birds shouldn't be afraid of a food bowl because they have them in their cage, but you just never know. So food is one way of building trust. How we move around the birds is another way of building trust. So if we move very quickly, that can be a deal breaker for the birds, because that's what a predator does when it chases a prey animal. It moves quickly. If we come up very quickly from the top or the bottom, that can be another deal breaker. So I want to make sure that they see the treat that I've got in my hand, and I move in very slowly and let them reach through it for it. I am moving very fluidly too. I don't have jerky motions with my hands. I'll show that again. And last week we talked about letting them reach for the treat so that they're not going to lunge and get your fingers instead, because they can only reach the treat, she's really reaching, and not your fingers. So those are some quick ways to teach you how to start to establish a trust relationship with your bird. That's going to really serve you well with all of the time the bird is in your home. So you want to get it from the very beginning. Let that bird know that you are the source of good things, whether it be a head scratch, whether it be a favorite food item, whether it be coming out of the cage to play, whether it be a toy, whether it be going into a crate to go outside, but you are all kinds of fun for that bird, and so you have a value in the bird's eyes. This is Debbie with Parrot P's and Q's signing off.